Mr. Jeremiah, are you here?
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon. Yeah, so the last time we met, sorry for last week for us not meeting, but the last time we met, I know there are some assignments I actually gave. So please, can you, Ogechi first, since she was the first person that joined, please, can you walk us through the assignments? Thanks.
Okay. Hey, can I share my screen? Ma, can I share my screen?
Yes, please, you can. You can.
So this was what I was able to come up with. The test ID and the test
Yeah,
scenario.
please walk us through, yeah.
So I started from account creation, verify customer name field, verify customer address, customer city, state and PIN, customer mobile number, customer email ID, and customer email characters, verify registration, login, transfer fund, verify customer account number, account limits that the customer can transfer, amount limit, and transaction limit, and then verify the payer's account number and the person receiving it, which is the payee, and then verify balance inquiry after you must have done your transfer. You can change your password, verify deposit, if you can be able to deposit money, withdrawal, edit account, and delete account. So this was the little one I was able to gather from the template Mr. Mani shared the last time. It was what I used in populating this. That was all.
Thank you so much, Ogechi. Thank you. Yeah, thank you. Good job. Mr. Jeremiah, over to you, sir.
Hello?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Okay. So I just pop up this test case. It just a full test case, so it's not like only the test case scenario. I know we learned about test case scenario last week, but I don't understand because seeing what she did now. Okay, look at what I did normally. Like a new user is creating an account registration. Understand? Username is required. Username filled in correctly in the name field, which is the test case, and the name of the name is written there. Friday approved. Then successfully move to the next page and expected result, and action display that successfully as it displayed successful as required. Then the pass. I just put the status bar. I just added this one though. Then the new user registration, new user registration as the test case scenario. The username column should not be left blank. The column at the test step, the colon should be left blank, then empty, understand? There's no data entered rather. So error display, user unable to move to the next page, or next page rather, yeah. I didn't finish this one anyway. But expected result shows error display, and unable to move to the next page. Understand? Then the result is that the error actually showed after testing done. It actually showed that okay, yes, it actually shows error. That means it passed. Then the still the same case scenario anyway. Users should not use numeric in the name column. Then numeric number we inserted the name field. This is the number, and it displays successful. Error should be displayed when numbers are used in name field, as it is unacceptable for numbers to be used in the place of alphabet in name field. It's against the requirement. That means failed after testing. This is what is revealed. It's against what is expected. It shouldn't be successful. There should be error, failed. So this is what I just did, like positive and negative, because you talked us about when you are positive, you also go to the negative part, not just happy, but the other negative part as well. So new users, new user account registration, no special characters are needed in name column. So enter special number and click insert or click enter. So use this one, which is not supposed, error display. So error actually displayed means after testing, it pass. This was the requirement that number should not be used. So sorry, special character should not be used. When special character is used, we display errors. So it passed. It made the requirement, so that's why it passed. Then the same scenario again. Entered with valid email. So positively, if you enter with valid email and it moves to the password page, look at the data, I don't know what to call it. Then when valid, the expected is required that when you use valid email, it will be accepted and it will go to the next page. So it means that when after tested, the same thing happened and it passed. So just like that, then create a password like that, then pass. I don't want to take us too long. Then I talked about creating a password, creating without special characters. So what is the outcome? Then creating with users should receive email verification. Understand? So that's verifying email. What I'm doing now is registration, right? Registration, what is required during registration, using email, using numbers and all of that. So when it's properly used, then it will show expected results. Expected result is email verify action. What am I saying? Email verification code. It will show email verification code, right? So okay. User receive a code. That means if they are verifying the email, definitely a code will be sent to the email and the person have to receive the code, right? Then new user registration as well, user verification of code at the code field, because after you get the code, you need to insert it in that column, right? In the code field. So when it's properly verified, when you put it in, insert it in, email verified, understand, which is okay, it will give a positive result. But the next one, when you put the wrong code, it will not, invalid error will show because you put invalid code. So this is what I was just doing. Then verify account numbers, and it was just merely email, password, and number verification. And what is the outcome? What is the result? Does it meet the requirements? So this is what I did. So lastly, I said new user account registration. Okay, mobile number verification. Enter wrong verification code in code field. So when you entered it, what will happen? Error displayed. Request for new code or try it again. Understand? So when you enter the wrong code, it will display error. It will ask you to request for new code or you enter it again, something like that. So this is what I just did. I'm just trying to rush this along. So I don't know if what I did followed actually. This just a main test case, though, which has to do with email verification, password, numbers, and code. The code is sent to your account or text message is sent to your number to verify your account number. Sorry, your mobile number. A text code will be sent to your account number, right? So that will also show that because that number require action, it require alert. Sometimes when the bank send you message, text message, when they deposit in your account, there should be alert in your text message that we send to your numbers. It happens in some banks. So that is why I put this here, like mobile number verification. Sorry, the first one, mobile number verification for alert purpose. Enter code number in the code field. This is it. Mobile number successfully verified. User receives text message. So the test have not been done. The test have not been done. So we don't know the status yet. So that's just what I did. I just rushed and did this one yesterday and this morning. I don't know if I'm in the right track, but this is what have been done.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Jeremiah. I'm sorry, what was the assignment again?
The assignment says that we should
write a test scenario on
write a test scenario
on
right?
banking sites.
All right,
Right,
to come up with different scenarios, right?
Yes.
All right, so I'll just point out what we did. So for Mr. Jeremiah now, right? So he came up with a scenario, right? But different sorry, Mr. Jeremiah, can you go upwards? Like to the header, yeah. So he came up with a scenario, right? But different test cases. So like the scenario now he came up with is user account registration. So in that user account registration, he thought about the username being required. He thought about username column, just like what we were doing the last time we met, right? Then he went further to explicitly state the steps, the test data, the expected actual result and status, and that's very brilliant, right? Why for you, Ogechi, you came up with the different test scenario on the merge banking application. Do you understand, Mr. Jeremiah?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you came up with one test case scenario, but you now went further to now come up with different test cases from that scenario. While the assignment, like she did the assignment, was to come up with different case scenario, right? But you went further with the one you did. Well, great job, both everyone. Great job, actually.
Thank you.
So thank you very much. So what I did, is it right, actually?
And you went further, but the assignment was come up with different case scenarios, but you came up with one. Yeah, you came up with one, which is new user account registration, right? Then you now came up with test cases from that case scenario you came up with. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. But great job, everyone.
Thank you.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right, so today we'll try to be as practical as we can be. So what's the name of that application that I said we're going to run through together?
Is it Abu Azure or something like that?
Yeah. Let me go to my slide and check.
I have a question before then.
Sure.
I was watching the recording. That was last night. So I noticed that the practical we did the last time was used for Amazon site, right?
Yeah.
Because but the Amazon site has been developed. What if we are testing in a situation whereby the site has not been developed? How do you test it? Like, where do you test it?
It's already said that there's an environment, a test environment that is going to be done. So that's where you carry out your testing from. Hello, Gage, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, so there's something called the test environment. Remember, what class was it when I was saying what and what you need to do before your test is being carried out? So there's something called the test environment before the application is now deployed live. So in that test environment is where you carry out your various testing. Do you understand?
A bit.
Just a second. Sorry, I'm trying to look for my slides for test environment. Just a second, please. Just a Please, can you see my screen now?
Yes, we can, but it's blank.
It's blank. Wow. Okay, let me stop sharing and share again.
Okay.
Stop sharing. This system is hanging again. Sorry. I think my laptop is hanging. My system is hanging.
No problem. Just take your time and fix it. I think it's carrying too much load.
Sorry, everyone. Please, can you see my screen now?
Yes.
All right. So, can you repeat your question? You were asking for applications that have not gone live. Where do we test them?
Yes.
Oh, wow. So if you follow the class, like when we started, we talked about the software development, software test life cycle. I told you that before an application is being deployed, it would have been tested in a test environment. So in this environment, this is where you carry out your test. So let us look at what a test environment is to answer that question you asked. A testing environment is a setup of software and hardware for the testing teams to execute test cases. So this is where the test cases that you are developing or those test case scenarios that you have done, this is where you carry out the test. So now, the example that we used, right? The application had already gone live. But for this one, the application has not gone live. So you need an environment to carry out your tests. This is the environment, this test environment is usually done by people called the DevOps, right? So they are the ones that build the environment. And this is where you now carry out your tests. So test bed or test environment is configured as per the need of the application under test. So right now, the application is being put under test, whether it's a mobile app application or is a website application, right? So on a few occasions, test bed could be the combination of the test environment and the test data it operates. Setting up a right test environment ensures software testing success. Any flaws in this process may lead to extra cost and time to the client. So that's why they give it to the DevOps guys to actually build this environment, because based on their skills and expertise, they are able to come up with the right test environment where testers or QA people can actually carry out their work. All right, so for the test environment, a key area to set up includes systems and application, the test data. That's the data you use to carry out the test. For now, the one you were trying to do on that Amazon, right? It was my email address that was the test data, but these people will come up with the test data to be used because the application is not yet live. So they need to curate or maybe create an email and create a password, right? Based on the environment that they have created. Then you need database server, you need front-end running environment, you need the client operating system, you need browser, you need network, and you need like documentation and user. So from that user story, right, that would be the guidance for them creating the test environment. So tests are limited to what can be tested and what not should be tested. Following people are involved in a test environment setup: system admins, developers, testers, sometimes users or techies with an affinity for testing. And the test environment requires setting up of various number of distinct areas. In my experience, I've never been involved in them when they are creating test environments, because sometimes I feel like not I feel like, but usually the projects I've been on, whenever they are doing the test environment and test setup, I just wait for them to be done before we now start carrying out their tests, because it's usually done by the DevOps people, right? So they are called the DevOps guys. So, Ogechi, does that answer your question?
Yes.
So I'm saying in this test environment, this is where you carry out your appropriate testing. Before you now tell the manager or the project manager that this application has been tested, before they can now deploy it to the live, that is where it's now available for users to see. It is now on your, what's it called, on your app, iOS or Apple Store, or it's now on your Google Store, right? You're able to download it and all that stuff. But before then, before that happens, the application has gone on that test in a test environment, right? This doesn't concern us, but thank God that this was actually included in this slide, right? So that you gain a better understanding of what it entails, right? So the step one is to set up of test server. So every test may not be executed on a local machine. It may need establishing a test server, which can support applications. For example, Fedora setup for PHP, Java-based application with or without mail servers, cron setup, Java-based application. This thing may sound as gibberish, but that's why it's not a business, but it's actually good that you have an idea, right, of what this entails. Step two is for the network, right? So network setup per the test requirement, it includes internet setup, LAN, Wi-Fi setup, private network setup, right? Like for banking applications now, maybe you're coming up with a bank application, you need to actually synchronize it to NIBSS, right? And some other network that needs to be set up so that you can be able to access and also test effectively, right? And then from your own point of view or from your own perspective, you need to have like in the UK here, it's not an issue for you to be connected to data and all that. But then in Nigeria, your data plans and all that, because you need to be online, right, to carry out your tests, right? So based on your data plan and all that. But for this step two, the network is talking about the environment itself connected to to network that would be used for the testing and all. Another one is the PC setup. So for web testing, you may need to set up different browsers for different testers. So like we have different browsers. We have Microsoft Edge, we have Google browser, we have Safari for Apple, right? We used to have Mozilla Firefox, right? So different browsers. So you need to actually run your application through different browsers because people are not just going to be using your application on just Google. They might use it on Microsoft Edge. They might use it on Opera Mini. They might use it on what's it called now? Microsoft Edge and all that stuff. So for desktop applications, that's like your desktop applications, your mobile applications, you need various types of OS for different testers PCs because phones have different types of OS. There are some phones that cannot accommodate your application because they've not been upgraded to a certain OS. So your application might not work. I think it was about last week, I was trying to connect to a printer that has Wi-Fi. So you need to download, the computer, sorry, the Mac. Yeah, it was a Mac we were using. So we had to download an application, right? So that it can synchronize with the printer. But apparently the OS of that Mac is actually obsolete. So we needed to upgrade it to an OS of 11, right? Before that printer can now synchronize with the application on the Mac. I don't know if you understand. So your phones, like now, your phones have different OS. There are some applications that cannot work on old phones, some applications that cannot work on iPhones, that's maybe iPhone 4, iPhone 5, and all that, because their OS is actually obsolete. So if your application is actually going to work, you need to come up with different kind of OS, right? And for different testers. Then for Windows Phone app testing, it may require Visual Studio installation, Windows Phone emulator, and apart from, you need to actually test across board for their Windows phones, right? Their Android phones and their Apple phones, right? So they all have different OS. So you need to create or come up with environment that can actually work with the various OS that you're trying to work with. I don't know, do we have any questions regarding this?
No, really, I don't have.
Mr. Jeremiah. Welcome, Mr. Akim.
Well, good day, ma'am. Good day.
Mr. Jeremiah, please, do you have any question or clarification? Hi, Mr. Jeremiah, are you there, please? Hi, Mr. Jeremiah. Mr. Jeremiah, if you're speaking, you're muted. Mr. Jeremiah, are you here? Okay, I don't think maybe he stepped out to get something. All right. Let me go back. All right, so another thing that we would also be learning today is how to report bugs, right? So how to report bugs, because you'll be going on project and then you'd have to know the tool to use to report your bugs. So bugs are those defects you find. Maybe the app was not working well, or you were not able to test some certain areas. So you need to identify those so that the developers can actually go back and also correct those defects you've identified. So we'll be learning that actually. So another thing is to create test data. So like I explained the last time we met, the test data is what you use to carry out the test. Like you need you need some credentials to actually come up with the test, right? So many companies use a separate test environment to test the software products. The common approach uses to copy production data to test. This helps the tester to detect the same issues as a live production server without corrupting the production data. The approach for copying production data to test data includes set up production jobs to copy the data to a common test environment. All personally identifying information is modified along with other sensitive data. That the PII is replaced with logically correct but non-personal data. Remove data that is irrelevant to your tests. Testers or developers can copy this to their individual test environment, and they can modify it as per their requirement. Privacy is the main issue in copying production data. To overcome privacy issues, you should look into obfuscated and anonymized test data. For anonymization of data, two approaches can be used: blacklist and, sorry. So you have the blacklist first. So basically, most of the times, right, the developers or the DevOps guys come up with test data that you use to carry out the test. So they might use Jane Doe or John Doe, right, at gmail.com. They might not be like now, me using my own email address is when the application has gone live, right? If I now submit my own email address for other people to be using, it's already some of the things tied to my email and all that, so might be at risk, right? So normally what happens is that the DevOps guys gives you a particular credential. They've already created this this specific email, and also the password that you'll be used to carry out the test you want to use, to do whenever you need valid credentials. So they come up with this test data. So that test data now would be used to carry out the testing. And in the case where you need to create more test data, they've already made provision for that so that you create more test data, right? So creating a test environment, because there are some test environment that will have, that will have so many flaws, and you're not able to carry out your test effectively. So based on the expertise and also based on the skill of the DevOps, right? So people, if you're employing a DevOps person, you need to understand or probably carry out, extensively look at the skill of the DevOps guy, so that the environment being created for the test will not be a barrier to your testing, in the sense that the DevOps person might not create that environment, right, correctly. So usually they go with people with more expertise and more skill, because this is quite dicey and quite sensitive. Your test environment needs to be correctly done so that you can carry out your test effectively. There are some test test environments where you carry out your test, there are like so many issues coming up. Even things that should not be identified as defects will now be seen. So the DevOps people actually should I say DevOps role too is another role in demand, right? For now, like they're kind of, I would say back then in Nigeria, there were kind of few, but now it's now prominent. So people are now looking into that area of DevOps, right? Because environments needs to be created for you to carry out your tests. If there's no test environment, you cannot carry out your tests. You can just do your static testing. That's just looking at documentation, but you need to execute those test cases that you've come up with, right? So that's why you need a test environment. So for test environment to exist, that means you need DevOps people. So that's another rule in software testing. Software in the software world that is also booming and is also coming up too. Do we have any questions so far? Mr. Jeremiah, are you back? Hi, Mr. Jeremiah. I don't think it's... Please, can anybody still hear me, or was I talking to myself?
I can hear you.
Okay. Do we have any questions, actually?
I can hear you. Go ahead.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Akim. Do we have any questions so far? Do we understand how the test environment actually works? So this is not our job jurisdiction, right? So it's left for the DevOps guys, but there are some QA people that have the skill to come up with test environments, right? But in my years, QA people do not do test environments. We actually leave it for the DevOps guys. But like I said, there are some QA people, because of their skill, probably they've been doing DevOps before they moved to QA, that's QA testing. So they can also build the test environment. Hi, okay, so does this answer your question?
Yes, it does.
Yeah, do you have any more questions, please, before we go ahead?
Mm-mm.
Okay. So test environment management deals with the maintenance and upkeep of the test bed, right? So this is just about the test environment and management. You need to monitor it. You also need to delete outdated test environment, right? You need to investigate issues in the environment. Like I said, the skill and expertise of the DevOps needs to be looked at, so that the environment being created by you need to employ someone that knows their onions, right? Because this is quite like a delicate and sensitive matter. So tests will be carried out in the environment. Imagine when you're testing and you're having issues upon issues in the environment you're testing. So it might really make your work frustrating, right? Sorry, excuse me. So let me just get a cup of water. Yeah, sorry about that. So it might make your work frustrating. So you actually need to employ someone that knows their onions. All right, so this is the test environment checklist. This doesn't really concern us, but it's just to make you aware, right? So you need to check whether required equipment for testing is available. Then you need to check whether peripheral equipment is also available, such as scanners, special printers, handhelds, and all. Then are the needed applications specified, such as Excel, Word, drawings, For the new software, does the test environment exist for the organization? Has the organization experience with use and maintenance of the software? Another water again, sorry. Sorry, I don't know what's choking me. So do agreements with the test data owners about the test data exists, then consider functional maintenance, then check whether a single point of contact exists. Then does the agreement reach to all members involved in the maintenance process are known? And also these are basic checklists for the test environments. So it's up to the DevOps guys actually. And what are the challenges in setting up test environments? So proper planning on resource usage, right? And remote environments, then elaborate setup time, shared usage by teams, complex test configuration. So these are the issues, right, that come up in setting up test environments. So what are the best practices for setting up a test environment? You need to understand the test requirement thoroughly and educate the test team members, right? So connectivity should be checked before the initiation of the testing. You need to check for the required hardware and software licenses, browsers and versions, planning out the scheduled use of the test environment, and also automation tools and their configuration. So when we now come in is when the DevOps guys, they are done with the environment. So there'll be a meeting, there'll be a walkthrough meeting. So they'll walk you through the environment that they have created for you to carry out your tests. They would also, there'll be like a demo. They will demo it with also the test data they've also created, right? So you have an understanding, right, on how to go about your testing in the test environment that have been created. So usually what happens based on my experience is that after the DevOps guys are done with the test environment, right, they just have a meeting with the test team, right, and the developers, and then they walk us through the environment so that you have a better understanding of how it works and also the test data they've come up with too. And then you can now go further and carry out your testing, because based on the test case that you've come up with, you need to do your testing, right, in the test environment. Yeah, so I wanted to take us through bug reporting. Sorry. Yeah, so this is it actually. Please, do we have any questions on the test environment?
I might have question later, but for now, I don't have question. My boy is disturbing and I'm not feeling too well, so I'm not 100% concentrated.
Oh, sorry about that.
I'll watch the video later because I'm more interested in this test environment.
But it is not your jurisdiction to come up with the test environment.
No problem. I just want to know.
All right, that's fine. Is Mr. Jeremiah back now?
I don't know.
Yeah, I think he went somewhere or something.
I don't think he's back.
Yeah, he's not back because she's not speaking. And when I left the meeting, he was made the host.
Yeah.
So I need him to make me the host.
But hope he's still recording, right?
Let me see more. I'm not sure. I think he's still recording now, but I need him to make me the host. Let me check if he's still recording. Okay, I think he's still recording. He's recording to the cloud, yeah.
Okay.
But I need him to make me the host.
I don't know where he went to.
That's fine. Mr. Akin, please, are you with us?
Yes, I am. I am.
Was Mr. Kim in the last class we had?
No.
He wasn't.
No, I
Mr.
wasn't
Kim,
in the last one. Yeah.
oh, why? But I hope he went through the recording, actually.
To be honest, I haven't. I only listened to part of it, but definitely I will finish it up anyway.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much. All right. So, another thing we'll be looking at is actually defects, bug life cycle in software testing. So we need to actually know this before we now go to how to conduct, how to log your bugs or defects that you find whenever you're carrying out your test. So what is defect/bug life cycle? Defect life cycle or bug life cycle in software testing is a specific set of states that defect or bug goes through its entire life. So this is an example of a bug. So like your bugs, insert bugs, right? But if we find that there's any defect, we call it a bug. So the purpose of defect lifecycle is to easily coordinate and communicate current status of defect with changes to various assignees and make the defect fixing process systematic and efficient. So defect status or bug status in defect lifecycle is the present state from which the defect or a bug is currently undergoing. The goal of defect status is to precisely convey the current state of progress of a defect or bug in order to better track and understand the actual progress of the defect life cycle. So for example, you were testing and then you noticed that maybe you were not able to log in and then you logged it as a defect. User is unable to log in when user presses the login button. You already note it down that is a defect or a bug. And then you assign it to you put it as open. That means it has not been worked on. The developer comes to you and says, oh, I saw what you raised or I saw what you assigned to me. Because in that, when we learn about how to report bugs, so it will be a practical session. So, and the developer comes and says, oh, I have fixed this. So you need to go back and test what the developer has said. When you go back and you see that, oh, you're able to log in, pressing the login button. So you come back to your report and since it's now closed, you press it as closed. So it is now tracking the various defects that have been raised, right? So that when you are coming up with your defect report, you will know the amount of defects that you gave during the entire testing that you did. So stakeholders will be able to know, okay, in this testing that was done, about 200 defects were raised from the application. But as of now, 50 have been closed. If 50 have been closed, that means the application cannot go live because you need to correct the other defects, right? And then maybe in the next meeting, they say, okay, the 200 defects that were raised the last time, how many are now closed now? So it gives you a concise way of actually tracking the defect. So imagine you were not even logging or you were not even coming up with the defect, you were not putting it down. So it's going to be very cumbersome and it's going to be very somehow because you're not even tracking anything. So we'll be learning how to report bugs. Do we have any questions before I proceed, please?
No, I don't.
Mr. Hakim? Okay. Mr. Jeremiah?
I am with you. I'm with you here.
All right. No, I was asking if you have any questions, Mr. Hakim.
No, not really. Not really.
All right. Mr. Jeremiah, are you back now? I don't think he's back. Maybe he went somewhere or something. All right, so defect state workflow. The number of states that a defect goes through varies from project to project. So this is a new phase. So when a new defect is logged and posted for the first time, it is assigned a status as new. So like the example I gave, you're testing login feature and you're not able to log in because the login button is not working. So when you first log it, it's actually new, right? Then assigned is another state. Once the bug is posted by the tester, the lead of the tester approves the bug and assigns the bug to the developer team, exactly what I said. So you assign it to the developer because you cannot just write the defects there and leave it. No, you need to assign it to the developer because most of the developers might say, you did not assign it to me now, so why should I now go and correct it? It wasn't assigned to me, it was just put there. So to avoid issues, you just need to assign it to the developer in the team, right? Then open, like I actually said before I came to this slide, the developer starts analyzing and works on the defect fix. Then fixed, when a developer makes a necessary code change and verifies the change, he or she can make bug status as fixed. So the status of the bug will now be fixed. He's now telling you that he has fixed it. Then you now go to test it before you now confirm that this bug has been fixed. So you can now close it. So that means that defect has been closed. Please, do we have any questions? Because I've been talking. I need to know that you are actually understanding.
I understand this part now.
All right. I don't know why Mr. Jeremiah is not here. Or Mr. Kim, do you?
So for a defect, for a defect, you need to, for every defect, you need to retest it. For every defect
You
you
need to retest.
fix,
So
you need to
you never
retest it.
exactly. You cannot believe the word of the developer. This one is not
Okay.
yeah, fixed it. Okay, that's fine.
Okay.
You need to go and carry out the test yourself and ensure that it has been fixed. This one, you don't believe words of mouth at all. Oh. You need to go back and test and know that it has been fixed. It has been fixed. So in the case where it wasn't fixed, probably the login button, you went and it wasn't working. So you need to assign it again to the developer and tell him to refix that this has not been closed out. So he now goes and does his assignment. And when he has fully fixed it and come back, you have to go back again to test to ensure that it has been closed out. So that's just how it works. All right, so you have the new, you have the assign, you have the open, fix, pending, retest, verified, and closed. So for verified, the tester retests the bug after it got fixed by the developer. Like I said, you're not believing words of mouth. This one, you don't believe the words of the developer. Because some developers have said, oh, they have fixed it, oh, and then when you probably go back, it's still the same issue. So if there is no bug detected in the software, then the bug is fixed and the status assigned is verified. So if you go back and see that, oh, the person has fixed it, so you now put it as verified. Reopen is when the bug persists even after the developer has fixed the bug and you have gone to test it. It's still the same issue. You're still not able to log in. So it will still be opened. So you can put it as reopen. Then close, like I said, is when the bug is no longer existing. Then the tester, you can now put it as closed. Then duplicate is when the defect is repeated twice or the defect corresponds to the same concept of the bug, right? Then rejected is when the developer feels the defect is not a genuine defect. Then it changes the defect to rejected. So there are some things some testers might raise and the developer will feel like, no, this is not a defect and all that. So sometimes they reject some defects, right? But most of the time, the QA manager or the project manager will not agree with the developer, because some developers can be lazy. They might not want to go back and fix that thing. They'll say, no, this is not a defect at all. I've been in that space before, where they'll reject it and say, this is not a defect, this is not a bug. Meanwhile, we can clearly see that this is a bug, right? But it might not be, it might not have high impact to the application, right? But it's something that needs to be fixed, right? Then you have deferred. So this is when it is not a prime priority. So most of the time, the developer might feel, this is not going to even cause any harm to the application and all that. Instead, let us put our attention on things that have high impact, or that may have high risk, pose as high risk to the application, and all. So all those small ones, maybe like font size, color code, and all that, might not be of high priority to them, right? So they might just defer it. That means when they are done fixing the defect or bugs with high priority, they cannot come back to it later. Then not a bug. If it does not affect the functionality of the application, like I was saying, then the status assigned to a bug is not a bug. So sometimes like color code, font size, and all that might not affect the functionality of the application. And then the developer might say, oh, they are rejecting it and this is not a bug. But we normally press because we want to have, we want to do something that is excellent. So even though they say, oh, we are not fixing this thing, we always tell them that, oh, at least if you're paying attention to the ones of high priority, come back to this later, because we need to develop, we need to deliver an excellent application to the stakeholders. So there's no back and forth. All right. Do we have any questions so far?
No, I don't. I don't.
Are you sure?
That's okay. That's okay.
Are you sure it's quite explanatory?
Yes, it is.
Sorry about that again. All right, by 2:30, we'll go on a 5 minutes break, then come back and look at the bug reporting, then just do one practical session before we call it a day. And then Mr. Mani would now tell us next steps on the projects that we'll work on and everything. And I know where to look at an application called Avo Azure. So I'll try and look at it on the slide when we're on break, so that after the bug reporting, it can serve as our practical session before we call it a day.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is it explained, right? So first thing first, the tester finds the defects. So like I gave the example, maybe the login button, you cannot press it. You cannot press it. That is, you cannot press the button. It's not allowing you to log in. So you assign the status as new. That's the second step. Can you see my screen, please?
Yes.
Because this is actually explaining how it works. So all those talk I've been talking. So this is an explanatory or a practical sense of what we're doing. Then the status is assigned to defect as new, right? So the third step, the defect is now forwarded to the project manager to analyze, because the project manager will now analyze that, oh, is this a defect? When you've logged it, the project manager, of course, has the access. The project manager or QA manager has the access to your defect bugging tool, right? And then you assign the status. So the project manager or the QA manager will now analyze it and then see if it is a valid defect or if it is not a valid defect. So in the case where it's a valid defect, she gives her go-ahead, or he gives the go-ahead, and then it is now, the status is given as either open or rejected, right? So after that, the project manager assigns a status as rejected. If the defect is not rejected, then the next step is to check whether it is in scope. In scope mean that whatever you're developing, right? Sorry about that. Sorry, had a minor distraction. So the next step is to now check whether it is in scope. But most of the time, everything is always in scope because you're talking about the applications here, right? So suppose we have another function, email functionality for the same application, and you find a problem with that, but it's not part of the current release when such defect are assigned to as postponed or deferred status, meaning that your attention, like I was saying, it's not of high priority. It's not of high impact to the application yet. So they are now postponing it later, or they are deferring it for later. At least let them focus on the ones that are of high priority. So she'll be the one to analyze it, right? Assess it to know, okay, is this going to affect the application now, right? Is it going to be of high priority now? If not, let's move it later and focus on the ones, right, that is actually going to have high impact on the application. Next, the manager verifies whether a similar defect was raised earlier. If it has been raised earlier, right, she can now assign it as duplicate so that the developer doesn't even waste time on going or looking at that. If no, the defect is assigned to the developer who starts fixing the code during this stage. The defect is assigned to as in progress. So he will now change it from open to in progress to say he has started working on it. Once the code is fixed, a defect is assigned a status as fixed. So he comes back and changes that status to fixed. And then you, the tester, will now retest it. So in case where the test case passes the defect, that means it is closed. So maybe when you go back, you're now able to log in. Like the login button is working. So you come back and change that status to closed. So if it fails again, you're not able to log in. That means it will be reopened and then you still assign it to the developer so that he fixes it. Right. So do we have any more questions? Any question, clarification? We are supposed to write a bug report on an e-commerce website, but that is fine. We'll just do a practical example here now. So this will be a practical session. Do we have any questions, please?
Yeah, not at all.
All right. We can go on our break now and come back by 2:30 so that we can resume how to write a bug report, how to do bug reporting before we now do that assignment. That assignment will be a practical session.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Please, can we confirm we are back? Is Mr. Jeremiah here now?
Yeah, I'm here.
I'm here as well. I don't think Mr. Jeremiah is in the class anymore.
Yeah, I don't think so too. Okay, our stuff is still recording. That's fine, sure. All right, welcome back, everyone. Sorry, let me share my screen again. Council. Mhm. Please confirm you can see my screen.
Yeah.
So if you want to learn more things, you can go to Guru 99. So it helps you learn on it helps you learn more about testing actually. Just go to Guru 99, right? So I was explaining the life cycle of a bug, right? So why do you actually need a good bug report? Bug report is an important document in software test lifecycle that offers various advantages to the testing team. So it keeps track of all the defects, multiple bugs, errors, and other discrepancies found during software testing and reports them. So the purpose of this post-testing documentation is to provide information to the concerned team of professionals about the level of bugs encountered during the testing process. Like I said, for example, maybe throughout the testing, you came up with, you found 200 bugs. And then you also identified the number of bugs that were closed and maybe the number of bugs that are actually pending, right, to be fixed by the developer. So it gives you kind of like an overview, right? It gives the stakeholders an overview of what they should expect in the application. In the case where maybe like the 200 defects, only 50 have been closed and is remaining 150. Mr. Akim Anoge, do you think that application can go live?
I don't think so because there's still a lot of bugs
There's
remaining.
still a lot of about 150 remaining. That's very lethal, or that is quite deadly, right?
Yeah.
So imagine about 150 have not been closed out, and then you are pushing that application to go live. So the application can even crash safe, right? And issues can come up. So, but imagine if there's just 200 and maybe about let me say 180 have been closed and it's just 20. But that 20, you need to evaluate if the defects are going to be, if they have a high impact on the application. In the case, if that 20 defects have high impacts, meaning that they have, they can pose risks to the application, your application can still not go live, right? Because you need to evaluate the defect trace if it's of high priority. We'll look at that shortly, actually. So your software development engineer can be made aware of all the defects and issues present in the software using this type of reports. It also lets you figure out what's wrong with a bug, so you can use the best method to fix it. It can also help you save your time and money by helping you catch bug and issue. So we'll be learning how to write a bug report. So here is an example. Here's the point that you need to consider for writing a good detailed software bug report. It acts as a guide to help avoid the same bug in future releases. It saves time for communication, less work for developers. They will do exactly what you want because you've explicitly stated it in the bug report. You will have less bottlenecks in the project. Bugs will be fixed faster and in a more efficient way. All right, let's listen to this video. Can you hear the video?
No.
Let me see if I can you hear it now?
No.
Doesn't do things by half.
Can you hear it now?
Price
Yes.
50% off
All right.
pizza, Friday to Sunday.
Hola amigos, I'm Omar Ali Boy, the Spanish chef.
He's not saying anything.
Doesn't do things by halves. Unless it's price. Get 50% off pizza, Friday to Sunday.
Sorry, it's not saying anything. Probably I'll just share the link to the video later. It's not saying anything. But I'll give you a practical example, actually.
Okay.
Yeah. So please note, there's no exact bug report template. Like there's no like specific bug report templates that we can have, right? So as it depends upon your bug tracking system, your templates might be different depending on what the company makes available for you to use as a bug report tool. But me, what I normally use is Excel, right? And then Jira most of the time. So, however, the following common fields are always needed when you want to write a bug report. The bug ID/title, the severity and priority, like I've been saying. If the severity is high and the priority is high, right? So even though maybe it's remaining about 20 or even 10 defects for it to be fixed, if amongst the 10 that is remaining, the 10 is of high severity and priority, please, people of God, do you think the application can still go live?
No.
It cannot go live because it's of high severity and of high priority. Imagine if one of the defects is that you're not able to carry out transaction and then you feel that you've closed out all the defects and it's just you're not able to carry out transaction. Meanwhile, that's even the purpose of you creating that application in the first place. So your application can still not go live because you need to close that. You can be able to carry out transaction before you now push it to deployment phase, push it to production. So those ones that we were saying that, oh, maybe the developer can reject, or maybe it can be postponed, or maybe it can be deferred. For example, maybe in what the UX UI guy, maybe the font size is not the same font size as what was stated in what the UI guy developed based on the user story. You now come and raise it that, this font size, it was New Times Roman, they stated that we should use, but now you are using Calibri. So you raise it as a defect. And then you now say the developer should change the font size. Is it of high priority to the application?
No.
It's not. So that one can be done later. In fact, your application can even go live and then it can be corrected later. But things like major things like you're not able to carry a transaction, you're not able to log in, right? You're not able to sign up. Those are major defects that have high severity and also of high priority. So you need to ensure that the developer fixes those. Then description. You need to give a detailed description, not just, you need to be explicit, right? So maybe you say login button not working. Give a description. User tries to log in, but not able to log in as the login button is not working effectively. So at least it gives a bit context of what the developer should understand and know what to fix. Then the environment, you need to state if it's a production environment or a test environment you were testing from, right? So is it from the test environment you carried out all those defects you raised, or is it from the production environment? So it needs to be stated. Then steps to reproduce. So just like the steps that we've been identifying in the test case, right? So it's just to make you, it's just for so that any layman that reads it would understand. So steps to reproduce, how to log in. You go on the application. Then when you go to the application, you it shows you that you should put your valid credentials. After that, after inserting valid credentials, then you log in. So that's the steps to reproduce. Then expected result is that you should be able to log in. Actual results, you did not log in. So, and then it's carrying you to another place that you don't know. So you need to attach screenshots and videos. This will serve as evidence, right? So in the case where the developer is coming to run his or her mouth and say, oh no, it's working, at least you have evidences that this was what you actually got when you tested this application. So screenshot videos actually help. So in my own experience, I normally do screenshots. I normally do videos, right? So maybe I'm trying to progress from one functionality to another. So I have videos. So you would have to look for screen recording, right? I have that attached, so where I can record my screen. And also for taking just screenshots, it's just to press Window, Shift and S, and then I'm able to do that screenshot and then upload it on the bug report so that they can see exactly what I'm talking about. Do we have any questions so far?
No, I don't have.
Mr. Kim? Hi, Mr. Kim, are you there? Oh, our two brothers are not around today. Okay, it's just me and you.
Yes. Oh,
Oh, I hope we don't come back to this or doing the project thing, but let's continue. What can we do?
since the video is there.
And since the video is there, they can always come back to the video.
Yeah.
All right, so for title bug ID, right? So every bug should be given a unique identification number, right? So bug reporting tools should be unique numbers for the newly raised bug so that we can easily identify the bug. Just as when we are creating our test case ID, so you have the ID number. So maybe this might be bug 001 login, right? Bug 001 login. So you should have a unique identification number. For example, I can't see the product when I again type it doesn't. So it is very vague. It is aggressive, it's too wordy. So you need an identification number for that particular bug, right? And then you just need to actually state it. Then bug severity is very important. It describes the effect of the defect on the application's performance. So for blockers, that means this error causes the app to fail. So major, a critical error indicates a major change in the business logic. Minor, an issue that doesn't affect the application's functionality, like the font size we talked about. It doesn't affect the application. It's just that the font size is not the same thing that the client wants. So that one can be changed later, right? It doesn't affect the expected result at all. It doesn't affect the functionality of the application. It's just the aesthetics of the application. That's just it. Trivial, it doesn't affect the functionality operation of the app. It could be a typographical error and also all those errors that we actually stated. So this has severity. So developers will pay attention to the ones that are blockers and also the ones that are major. they wouldn't pay much attention to minor or trivial, right? So more attention will be given to the ones that are blockers or major. Blockers is that you cannot even progress to the next phase. So they need to fix it ASAP as soon as possible. Major, definitely your application cannot go live till it's fixed because it can indicate a major change in the business logic. Imagine if you're not able to perform transaction and all that stuff. So it just hinders whatever the purpose of the application was actually done in the first place.
Yeah.
Then you also have bug priority, right? So you have high, where it covers anything which affects the flow or blocks app usage. You have medium, it adversely affects the user experience. You have minor, like typos, missing icons, layout. So either you're using through the severity or bug priority, depending on the one you want. So when you prioritize it, and then you also, of course, if it's high, that means the severity is high. If it's minor, the severity is minor. That means it will not have any adverse effect on the application. Yes. So it works hand in hand. So you have environment. A bug can appear in a specific environment and not others. For example, sometimes a bug appears when running the website on Firefox, or an app malfunction only when running on an Android device and working fine on iPhone. So you need to state the environment where you carried out that test and then you saw that particular defect. So maybe you were testing on Android phone and you saw that defect. So you need to state it there that it was seen on this Android, so phone, or it was seen on iPhone, so. It was seen on Google browser, so. So it gives you a better understanding of where that defect was actually found, right? Because while we are doing that, the developer might come and say, but I tested it now. Maybe the developer does not even use Android phone, and he's using Apple phone, and he said, I tested it.
Just for clarity.
Exactly, for clarity. And you now come back and say, okay, where did you carry out that test? And I say, it was on my iPhone. And no, but you're now saying, but I tested it on an Android phone and it showed this particular error. And then when other people go and test, they still find that error. But on the Apple phone, on the iPhone, it might be working well, right? So you need to state that environment where you're testing from. So these bug reports can only be identified with cross-browser, cross-device testing. So when reporting the bug, QA should be able to specify if the bug should be observed in one or more specific environments. However, adding only the title in the bug report does not serve the purpose. So if your title isn't enough, you can add a short report summary for better contents and better clarity. Your summary in as few words as possible, including when and how the bug occurred. Your title and bug description should also be used in searches, so you must ensure you have covered important keywords. But I was trying to add stuff to the test and nothing showed up when I did that or clicked on the button. Good. When I tried adding products, bad means this is wrong. Good means this is the correct way to do it. So when I tried adding products, maybe bag, shoe on e-commerce, like the assignment I gave to you. When I tried adding products, shoe, bag, clothes to the shopping cart, but nothing happened when I clicked the add button on the specific product overview web page. So it gives a better context of what
it's more explanatory.
It's more explanatory, exactly. Then the steps to reproduce. When reporting a bug, it's important to specify the steps to reproduce it. You should also include actions that may cause the bug, right? So this is an example of a well-written procedure. Select product X1, click on add to cart, click remove to remove the product from the cart, like what we were doing last week.
Yeah.
So it gives you these steps to reproduce. Expected results. In bug report, describing the expected result per the technical task. Test case outcome designs or according to the tester's opinion is important. All this helps developers to focus on quickly finding needed information. They might not have ample time to be looking at. They just need something that will give them context. For example, Require field should be highlighted in red after clicking the submit button, so they know that, okay, this is what, because you might say, go back to the user story now. Go back to the user story. Are you into me? Sorry about that. So for example, require field should be, maybe you are telling them, go back to the user story now. Go back. The truth is that you might not have them to go back, but you just made their work easier by saying this is how it should be.
Yeah.
Right? Yes. But the actual result is that this is what you got when it turned green rather than turning red when you did the click submit button. Do you understand?
Yes.
Then attachments, right? So it's best practice to attach files to bug reports. Like that turning green, they might not believe you. They say you only wrote it. So snap it that it turned green
Yeah, for
and
evidence.
include it. So it makes it easier to perceive information when you need to display it visually. So they might not believe you, right? So just attach evidence, show evidence that this is what you actually saw. So it's just best practice you attach files, because to avoid back and forth, just attach evidence. No need to talk too much. Attach your evidence of what you saw. So screenshots can easily elaborate mistakes in the program. Convenient when the bug is highlighted. So you highlight it as CO, it turned green. Or you can do specific annotation, circle or arrow image. Then video, sometimes it's difficult to describe the bug in words, so it's better to create a video so that developer can rectify the defect in the program. So for the ones now that do not need screenshot, maybe when you're trying to log in, you say, when I logged in, it took me to dashboard. So you might not be able to screenshot the progress. So it's better you do a video so they'll see the progression. Okay, when I went to log in, I click login button, it took me to dashboard. So they'll have like a better overview of what you're trying to
What
say.
you are saying.
Exactly. Then affected version. So it is the affected versions, software version where the bug is reported. Fixed version is the software version in which the bug is resolved. So when the QA who reported the bug checks whether it's fixed, he uses the correct software version. So maybe the software version that you actually found that bug, right, was now fixed. So he now upgraded the version. So he has now fixed it, right?
Yeah.
Then target version is where a bug should be targeted to be fixed. So you're not telling him, no, upgrade this OS to this. And then they'll work on that when fixing it. Then date close, you have to put down the date that when this was when it was closed, right? So closing a bug is vital and integral part of software testing. So you also add the date. Then we've talked about the status, right? I went through the stages of status. So is it in progress? Is it fixed? Is it reopened? Is it was it postponed, right? Or was it so all those stages we talked about earlier. So you need to look at it. So these are tips for bug report writing. So you need to be specific when creating bug reports. Make sure you don't include any useless or irrelevant facts. Don't be talking around and going around bush.
Yeah, she goes straight to the
Specific,
point.
exactly. Go straight to the point. Because most of the time, people don't have time to be, you are talking A, you're diverting to B, you're diverting to C,
Yeah.
you enter D, you enter E.
Going around.
Okay, you talk Allah. They don't have that time. So just specific as much as you can, right? So you must report the bug immediately as soon as it gets it. You don't postpone or procrastinate it. Report it immediately, because it's possible you might forget, and it's possible that that bug might be that bug you've detected might be a blocker. So imagine if you now give ample time and maybe you're working with a specific time to close out the project. So you need to report it so that the developer can get to work and fix it immediately. So prepare the report in detail to empower the developer to use the facts and information to debug the issue. So like we said, it needs to be detailed because they might not have the time to go through the user story or go through the user whatever again.
Yeah.
Then also you should test the same bug occurrence on other similar models for validation. Like we said, it's possible like it might be working on the developer's iPhone, on the Android phone that you use to test that thing, right? Maybe that's where you found the bug. So you need to test on across your platform to ensure that that bug that has been identified is also not found in other models, right? So review the bug report at least once before submitting it. So go through your report to ensure that you've crossed your T's and dotted your I's, right? So go through it. Then you should ensure that the bug report contains a description of only one error, right? Lastly, you should not be afraid to ask the project manager for help if you feel unclear about something. So always ask for help, right? Always, in the case where you don't have clarity, you can always reach out so that they can provide more clarity, right? So it's not good that you work in silo. If you don't understand something, maybe you might not be understanding something, but the project manager might understand it better. So just reach out and they might just say, okay, can we schedule a meeting, right? So that they can provide clarity. So these are bug reporting tools. Like I said, the one I use is Excel sheets and Jira for my bug. There's also Bugzilla. Let's see if this is, let me see if this is,
When you mean Excel sheets, like maybe,
Microsoft Excel now that we have
yeah,
been using to write
I
test
know.
case.
You would just go and type it in there.
Yeah. So you just create all those columns that we have seen, all those columns, title, status,
Okay.
description,
Okay, yeah. I understand.
attachments. Let me see if this Bugzilla now, if it's free. Because sometimes it might not be free. I've never used Bugzilla before, though. It's Jira that I normally use, but Jira is not free. You have the free version, but you pay later
Yeah, you pay after 1 month.
after 1 month. So we can go through Bugzilla. I'm trying to see if it's free because I've never used it before. Okay. Oh, okay. Okay, I think we can also look at it, but let's finish our something first.
Okay.
Yeah, we can look at it. Sorry, what can you see on my screen?
Report a bug.
Yeah, so I clicked on it and it showed me this. So name of the bug, email, bug description, the steps to
What do
reproduce.
they mean by email?
That's maybe the test data that you used.
Oh,
The steps to reproduce, the actual result, the problem URL, then the attachment, then you submit it. So we can look at it actually. Let me go back to my screen.
when you click on submit, who are you sending it to?
So it goes, that's the Bugzilla. That's why I'm saying that I'm trying to see how it works. So I'll go to Bugzilla actually and see how it works. And see where the information will now, because I think when you click submit, right, probably it gets triggered. I mean, you get notification, right? The project manager gets notification and everybody involved in the project. Yeah, this is Bugzilla actually. Let me go back to where I'm coming from. So what are the common problems and solutions while writing a bug report? So bug report example, when multiplying 2 by 3, the answer will be positive. So report the pattern, not an example, right? So you're not supposed to report the example, report the pattern, not giving example. Then the list will be ordered alphabetically when adding a new item to avoid this. For example, to Bing, you will need to open your browser and type the site URL. You find the first field. This is story. So never tell the story, just direct to the point like we were saying.
Okay.
So you see all this story now, all this Olu ala that this person is saying now.
Yeah.
The developer will even be angry. Be like, just go straight to the point. Then the client's name in the report is misspelled, priority high, severity high. So never mix priority and severity together. Don't mix it together. Separate them. The task calculation formula is incorrect. Don't use caps, red letters, or red circles. So you're not to use caps, just you can use you can use like just what's it called? Use normal, how you normally type.
Type.
I don't think that the homepage UI design is good. Don't use your judgments. Example of unclear description about our discussion today. Please do not do the required action for this page. Make your description understandable for everyone. So which required action exactly? Which one? The person will be confused. You're not confused of this thing they said.
I'm confused.
You're confused. So make it understandable. The page background should be blue, orange, or green, or you can make it black or white. Minimize the options.
It's too much.
So much. This is not good, as it is unclear what is needed from the web development and design team. The task calculation formula is sometimes not working as expected. So they said don't use the word sometimes. So don't use it. So this is an example of a bug report. So my account underline is displayed when mouse hovering on that's hovering, when you're hovering like this, like my cursor.
Yeah.
My account underline is displayed when mouse hovering on the update button. Description, we need to remove the underline when mouse hovering on the update button in my account section. So that means probably my account is underlined, meanwhile it's not supposed to be. Then the person put a link here. So that means when you go to it, this is what you're supposed to see.
Yeah.
Then the browser OS, the person used Chrome 25, OS Yosemite 10.10.2. The steps to reproduce, go to www.test.com, log in via login credentials, navigate to my account, mouse over on the update button, right? Actual result, there is an underline. Expected result, no underline should be seen. Login data, so this is what they used to test. Test at test.com, my secret password, that's the password.
Yeah.
So these are the mistakes you must avoid when you're writing your reports, your bug reports. Don't write about your dissatisfaction, like, oh, I am very displeased with this application.
It's your work.
Basaragi, it's not your business. Never include your personal feelings. Maybe you're having beef with that developer.
You don't like the person.
You don't like the person. You're not including it in your bug
So you
report.
now see the opportunity.
Exactly, to water down the guy. So don't include that. It's not your business. It annoys people who want to focus on the task when you overload your post with many emoticons. That's many, they can read your emotions from what you are saying, that you're angry when you were typing this thing. So people don't have that time. Never overload your post with exclamation points. It does not speed up. Maybe you're writing, do it now. You now put exclamation. It no go still speed up the work. Nobody wants to feel offended. It destroys motivation. Imagine there's a way you write and somebody will read it that you were angry when you were writing this thing.
Yeah.
So the person might take offense. It might even demotivate them. Like they will not even be motivated to actually attend to that error that you've actually identified. So that's why most of the time they say we should have what is it called now? Our soft skills, emotional intelligence, right? So the tone on how you write, because if you're writing from a text message, I can know when you're angry or when emotions can be felt.
Yeah.
Exactly. So nobody wants to feel offended. Now come work. No be this thing to come and be carrying beef for each other. It's work, you came to work, right? Yeah. So let's see. Let's go to this Bugzilla and see how it works. So we can do that assignment. This one, Mr. Hakim and Mr. Jeremiah is not here as well.
I don't know where they went. Everybody is busy.
Everybody is busy. So, since it's open source, let's see. If it doesn't require payment, I'll just see how it works. So Bugzilla is an open source issue bug tracking system that allows developers to keep track of outstanding problems with their products. It is written in Perl and uses MySQL database. It's a defect tracking tool, however, it can be used as a test management tool. As such, it can be easily linked with the other test case management tools like Quality Test Center or TestLink. I've not used this test management tool before. This open bug tracker enables users to stay connected with their clients or employees to communicate about problems effectively throughout the data management chain. Okay, so that means when you click submit, it's visible to everyone on the team and also the stakeholders. Key features of Bugzilla includes advanced search capabilities, email notifications. So that means they get an email when you click that submit. Somebody dropped a chat. Okay, he said it's here, but he's having issues with his mic. Okay, Mr. Kim, you can log out then log back in now. Log out then log back in. Hi, okay, hope you've not left me. Oh.
No, I'm here.
Okay. So I was saying, we were saying, okay, when we click submit, who will it now go to?
Yeah.
So they'll get email notification, actually. So modify firebox by email, time tracking, strong security, customization, localization. So how to log into Bugzilla? Use the following link. Okay, let me paste the link so that you can go to it now as we'll be doing it together. Chat. Oh yeah, I pasted it. Are you going to it now?
Yeah. I'm trying to open it.
All right. Let me open my own.
Huh? It says
This is a test instance and not to be used for any production purpose. The database was last refreshed on September. Email has been disabled for this system. If you need to create a new account, access your old account by having your password reset. Email me to help on Slack. That's fine. So
doesn't mean we have to download Firefox.
I think we do.
I will watch you while you do your own.
All right, let me see. Let me create a new Bugzilla account. So let's see. No, let me stop sharing so that I can go to my email. Oh no, what's that? Let me share. You can still see my screen bar.
Yes.
Um, I didn't get any email. Let me check my junk. No, I didn't get promotions. I didn't receive the email. Let me go back. Yeah, ama@gmail.com. Yeah, that's what I did. All right. Let me go back again. That's not dropped.
It didn't open.
It didn't open. Can you try your own? Can you try creating an account?
Okay.
It didn't open from my end. Oh, I'll have to download Mozilla. That's what it's saying, maybe.
They said a confirmation mail has been sent.
But did you see any confirmation mail?
Not yet. I think you need to download
You need to
app
download this.
first.
Yeah, okay, let me see. So let me see. I can do a Mozilla account. Have you tried? Are you downloading your own too? Okay.
Not really. Um, is it the Thunderbird support or the Firefox support?
This is the first one I downloaded.
Hello, can you hear me now?
Yes, I can, Mr. Kim.
All right.
So we are trying to use Bugzilla on how to
But I have normal Firefox on my laptop.
and say use at gmail.com now. Yeah, new account login. Let me go to that link again. Yeah. New accounts login. Yeah. New accounts. See, I'm gonna do version. I should be able to receive an email. But okay, did you get an email?
No email was sent. They said they have disabled their email
Oh,
for
they
what?
did. Yeah. Yeah. So login with GitHub. Oh, can I still remember my, let me see if I still remember my GitHub. Device verification code. Let me check. Thanks for 2007. This is name. Okay, let's go back to it. Login. So I'm not getting anything. It has worked though.
Ah, thank God. But we are not seeing your screen.
Yeah, I want to share my screen now. So I logged in using my GitHub account. So see now, see how it is.
Okay.
Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Yeah.
So assigned to me, the bug has been and is not resolved or closed. Choose query. New reported by you. In progress reported by you. You are copied on. You are a mentor. Updated since last visit. Interesting bugs. Involved with and never visited. You are a QA contact and all. Then bug updated priority. Status. Summary. So let's see file a bug. Let's go back to that thing. So it will show us the step-by-step on how to. So the first step is to create your Bugzilla account or login, which we have done. Please, I need us to know if we are following.
Yes.
All right. The step 2 now is to enter your personal details to log into Bugzilla. That's user ID, password, and then click login. So we are done. So you are successfully logged into Bugzilla system. So I am. So now is to create a bug report in Bugzilla. So we have to create a new bug in Bugzilla, visit the home page and click on new tab from the main menu. So let's go. So new bug. Sorry, let me up this. So they said we should click on new tab, right? That's what they said.
Yeah.
So enter a new bug. We have done that. So what do we need to do? All right, let me go back to that. So in the next window, enter product. I think it's because this thing has been updated. Enter product, enter components, give component description, select version, select severity, select hardware, select OS, enter summary. Sorry, excuse me, enter description, attach attachment, submit. So let's see. Let's go back. Table. My dashboard. I think they've updated this thing.
Yeah.
So that's why, because it's not what we are. Let's see, find a book. Find a new book. Report an issue with the website I use. This one is reporting websites that you use, so it's not reporting book. Advance. It's new book I want. I was thinking enter a book. My bug is in, okay, let me see my bug is in Firefox or else. But let me see my, none of the above. My bug is in the first thing. Okay, we can use this. So enter a bug. If you are new to, please consider checking instead of creating a bug. Please summarize. It still doesn't explicitly state what I want. Other products. Standard bug. Switch to the standard bug entry form. Other products. They've updated this thing, so it's not like it is here.
Yeah, it's not working.
It's not working. Let's go to Jira. Let me see if Jira would do the work. Well, let me even share one. That's the Excel that I use. So let me just share it. Okay, I'll leave this report a book. That's a jot form. Let me go to, let me see Jira if I can use the Jira login.
Yeah, but we can't see your screen.
Yeah, no, I just want to check first before I,
Okay.
since I need to, or you need to pay. Log in with Atlassian. I just want to see if it works before I display my screen. I'm not going to deduct my account. Hmm. Okay, it's what, so if it's more than 10 users, you need to pay.
Jira.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. No, account has been deducted. Yeah, if it's more than 10 users. Let me share my screen. So can you see it?
Yeah.
Can you see my screen?
Yes.
So this is it.
Yeah.
So this is the CAN board. So let's see, create issue. Okay, what needs to be done? Let's go to fix the error. Let's open it. Yeah. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
So, you know, this thing is not explicit enough. So let's say the website, I don't have a particular application I'm testing now. If not, I would have used it. But the applications that we can actually test is probably applications that have gone live. So we don't have, except in your projects, would refer you to a website where you can do your projects. So like that example we gave, maybe unable to add to carts, right? So I'm adding attachments of what I'm unable to add to cart or something. I'm attaching the screenshot or the video that I've already done, right? Then the link to the issue, you're putting a link there, then description. So you're writing the description of when user, like, okay, what we saw earlier,
Yeah.
then saving it, right? Then if you have any other comment, you can add, right? Then see where you have details. Sorry. See where you have these details. So assign, because everybody will be on the same space. So maybe Oge is here, Mr. Kim is here, Mr. Mani is also here. So you're assigning it to the developer, assign to developer, because it's only me that is on this workspace now. It's only going to be assigned to me. So the labels now, you would have to create the labels. So I'll have to create the labels and also the priority too. Then the team and all. So this is how it just works for, what's it called, for Jira. So the project manager, right, would have done some works on the Jira thing so that for the testers and the developers that are going to come in, right, they can always manage and navigate through the system. So everybody will be on the same place, and then you're not able to create your, use it to report your bugs. So this is for Jira. See. But let me share an Excel sheet. Like I said, it's Excel I use, and then sometimes for some companies I use Jira. Then I also use Jira. I should have some things I've worked on, except I've just been logged out on it. This is the free one, so you might not see everything that you need to see.
Yeah, my own is also free.
The one is also free, so you might not get the full advantage, right? Because it's free. The full benefit, sorry. Let me stop sharing and share Excel sheet so that we can use that for the example. Sorry, I'm coming. All right, can you see my screen?
Yeah.
So can you see the bug ID number? The reporter name. I just had to what's it called? I just had to change some certain things because it's sensitive information. So you have the bug ID number, like I explained, #001. You have the reporter name. You have the assigned developer. You have the submit date. You have the due date. You have summary, homepage not loading. You have the URL. You have the screenshot. You put the attachment. You have the platform PC. You have the operating system. You have the browser. You have the steps to reproduce. You have expected results. You have actual. Then you also have the severity and also the priority. So the severity is minor and then the priority is low. So do you want me to share this with you now?
Yeah,
All
we
right.
don't mind.
Okay.
How do you get to know if the priority is high or low?
So it depends. If you're not able to perform a transaction, will the priority be high or low?
Like this one is what, like this one is work that has already been done.
It is work that has already been done.
That
So
would be
I'm
high.
asking Mr. Akim now, if you're testing an application and you're not even able to log in, is the priority going to be high or low?
It's going to be high.
Exactly. If you're not able to perform transaction, is the priority going to be high or low?
It's going to be high.
If a font size, maybe the font size stated in the document is supposed to be Time News Roman, and the font size that was used is now Calibri, is it high or low priority?
That's a low priority.
Exactly. So that's how you
Okay.
just know it's high or low.
Mm. Mhm.
Okay, I just shared it with us.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. So let me see if we can go on his site now and then we have about 30 minutes, but do we have any questions so far? So far, all that we've done today, do we have any questions?
No.
Mr. Kim?
Not at all. Nothing is coming up to
Okay.
mind. Yeah.
All right, let me see. We can just quickly do it.
But if I listen to the recording, maybe I have a question. I can always
Yeah,
reach out.
you can always reach out. Let me see if you can just go to your website now and just check, because I don't have like an application you can test. So you can just come up with a bug report for me now before we leave this call. Let me see. Yeah.
So
Yeah, sorry, you wanted to ask something.
yeah, I wanted to ask something.
Is that Mr. Jeremiah, Mr. Akim?
Jeremiah.
Mr. Jeremiah, that we have been calling your name since. Where did you go to?
Something happened though, you know.
Hey, what happened? Oh, all is well.
Yeah, it's well. Just took my attention away. So,
Yeah, so
so
what's your question?
yeah, the thing is that if my question might be funny, I might take me back.
No
I take a
question
better.
is funny or not. Please just ask your question.
Probably I should go and when it's recorded, I have to go and take my time to listen to the recording again because I can see that you show that all these are all about bug reporting, right?
Yeah.
Bug reporting. You normally use Excel, which you displayed. You use Excel, which you sent already, rather.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So you said it's either you use Excel sheet or you use Jira.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So is it your personal opinion to use whatever you want to use or the company requirement?
The company requirements.
Okay.
So
So
the
the
times,
company,
yeah. So for the time I use Excel is because there was no Jira application or any application I could use. But the times I use Jira is because that was their project management tool and also a different tracking tool.
okay,
Yeah.
that's good. That's good. Yeah.
So we will start our project. I was trying to see because I don't have a live application for you to just look for a bug report now and do for me now.
It looked like the Jira is much simpler, right? Than this.
Is it?
It seems to be more easy, the Jira, right? Because
It's
it's a
because you're
format.
just, yeah, so it's because the navigation and everything has been set there just for you to just put in the details and then that's all.
Yes, yeah, it's more easy. Yeah. Just like initially when I used to audit, I normally go on manual. When I was in Qatar, I do manual, normal reporting and all of that, write up, read and all of that. But when I get to the UK, we are not using those. Everything already set up in a particular software. And it's very, very easy. I don't need to prepare my question, my checklist. Everything is already there in the system. It's just for me to review it and start my audit. It makes life easy. So that's I'm tying it down with Jira. It's like everything is there already. Understand? So it will be more easy. So you need to teach us how to use Jira to do bug reporting. That is
Yes, so that's what I was trying. Let me share my screen back to the Jira. So like I said, for this one now, it has not like been fully set up for because like I said, the project manager will come and set up the whole system for everybody. So I'll still display my screen again now. Let me share my screen. Share screen. Sorry, excuse me. For now, it's only me that is here because this is my space. So let me see. Let me add people. Okay, let me add. Give me your email address.
Triple J.
Triple
J Jerry. Yeah, J Jerry, all small letters. J Jerry. Jerry. Yeah. For life. Sorry, for life. Number 4. Number 4. No, remove at first. Jerry for life.
Okay, yeah. For life.
Yeah, at yahoo.com. Correct.
Okay, what's your email address?
Ogechi26.
Ogechi, no man.
Sorry. No worries. 26 at
gmail.com. Yeah.
Mr. Kim.
Yeah. My email is Sonny Akim, SANNI.
Sonny Akim.
SANNI.
Oh, sorry. SANNI. Sorry.
Akim. AKWEM. 84 at gmail.com.
84 at gmail. Sorry, at gmail.com. So I'm adding three people. All right, please, can you go to your emails now and then come in so that you can come in here now? We have just 5 more minutes, so please just go to your email so that you can come in here quickly.
So what will I see in my email?
An invite. Yeah, an invite.
Can you see me?
Nope.
Accept invitation.
Huh?
You want me to create an account?
Yeah, you have to create an account.
I'm in, right?
But I can't see you yet.
I can see myself.
Did you write Oge as your name?
My name, the name I use in registering is Ogechi Ilebunam. That's what I use to open my,
Can you see me?
create my account. Ogechi is there. He's
So
on
you said,
that.
what kind of work do you do?
Just say software work. Just say another work. Yeah, just say software. See. I can still see you, okay, my project board.
Can you see me?
Nope.
Not Jerry.
Unassign automatic. Are these your names? Probably you guys are not putting your names.
I put my name on Jeremiah. I put my name. But you requested for name.
Yeah.
So you have to put your name.
I can see automatic unassigned. Let me see.
You need to add us now.
I've added you people. I added you guys here to this thing.
Okay.
My name, and I can also see unassigned.
Share your screen.
No, I
Let me
can't
see
see
what
my
you're seeing.
can't see my name. Let me see.
Okay, can you share your screen? Let me see what you're seeing.
Okay.
Okay. Name Jeremiah. Okay.
Now, can you see my screen? Now, can you see it?
Yes, I can click on the unable to add cards.
Yeah. What next?
Okay, let me see if I can. Let me go back again and see
I
if I
should
can
stop sharing.
No, just continue sharing. Maybe I need to refresh it. Let me see.
Unable to add cards. I should click on it.
You all can see unable to add cards, but
Yeah.
Yes.
I've clicked on it.
I don't know why we cannot. And you cannot see my name, AA.
I can see your name.
Let me see. Where can you see my name?
Downside. Hammer.
Okay, let me see. Okay. Okay, I've seen you now, so I'll just. What is your name that you added?
Is it
Jeremiah
me?
Gemini. Yeah, I've seen Jeremiah. Mr. Kim.
Yeah.
Have you come in here already?
I tried logging in, but it's I don't know what's wrong with my computer.
Let me see. Okay. Let me just see Mango.
It's not giving me a proper update, but I can see can 1, can 2. I don't know what that means.
Eh?
I'm logged in, but I don't know what's wrong with my.
So let me see now if I can see people now.
Or should I stop?
No, it's fine. Assigned to not me. Ogechi. Yeah, I can see you now.
Oh, okay.
Okay, you can stop sharing. Let me just quickly run us through.
Okay.
All right. So, like we said, maybe the bug was unable to add carts, right? I'll be unable to add item to carts. You can see now. If I send this to the developer and he says unable to add carts, he's like, what is this person saying? Unable to add back product to carts.
It's clarified like
this. So description. User tried adding bag to carts when selecting products to buy.
Product selecting page.
Yeah. So you can also put the actual and the expected result and also the actual result in this description too.
So, okay, this one has already gone live, right?
Sorry?
This has already gone live, or is still in the...
You know, like we don't have like an application that we are testing now. So I'm just creating this bug from my head.
No, I know what I'm saying. In this scenario, it has already gone live.
It has already gone live, yeah. But
yeah, it has already gone.
No, not even it has gone live. You can be testing and you're unable to add back product to cart.
Okay.
You're testing the e-commerce website. So
Yeah,
remember, you have to test first before it goes to production. So
yes,
this
of course,
bug reports, yeah, it can be used though, even though the application has gone live or not. But we are coming from the perspective that the application has not gone live. We are just carrying out a major test and doing due diligence.
Okay, so during your test, you may have picked one or two products, maybe bag or belt or whatever, and tried
Yes.
to add it to cart.
Yes. But I was not able to add my bag that I picked now to the cart.
Okay, but you need to give a proper description.
Yeah, so can somebody give me a proper description then?
Yeah, the proper description should be during selection of products.
All right, during selection of products.
Yeah, the user could don't.
The user
could don't transfer. Yeah, it's not the user. Yeah, the user could not transfer, if there's anyone transfer the selected product to cart.
All right, thank you for that. You save it. So your attachment will be the evidence that this is the screenshot of what you did or the video that you came up with, right? So because it's just at the top of our head, then if you have any link, you can also add the link, right? Cancel. Then to do. So you can see my screen. So if it's in progress now, he will now move it to in progress, right? And then you can also add more items to this. But like I said, the project manager would have set up all this, right? So assignee, maybe Okechi is the developer. So I've assigned it to her that she's supposed to fix this issue. Unable to add back product to carts.
Oh, please, can you come back? Where did you assign? Okay, you press that assignee.
Yeah, assignee. So Ogechi, I can search for your name, Jeremiah.
Ogechi is the developer.
Yeah. Okay. Or you are the developer. I've assigned it to you.
Developer. Okay. I have something in my head I just forgot to. Oh, okay.
Okay, so labels, right? Sorry, please go ahead.
So is that is needed for one of the bug, right?
You said?
That is what is needed now. This is closed already. It has been transferred or referred to be taken
No,
care
it's
of by
still in
it has
to
been
do.
flagged.
No, it is have you gotten an email? You'd have gotten an email that Ada has assigned this to you. So you now, when you come back here, you now move it to in progress.
Okay.
Then me, when I finish testing, I'll move it as done. But I can still add more, like that's add more this thing to this field so that you have all. Sorry, please go ahead.
Don't what? You are right. It's in progress. After if
After I've tested it, like that's what I'm saying. I'll add more to this field. Apart from to do in progress, there's also fixed. Then there's also like all these stages. I don't know if you were in that part when we were talking about the stages. I don't think you were there. You have to go back to the video. So I can still add all that to this. So maybe when he comes back and then he clicks fixed, or he clicks this thing, so you can know from this status here. But so far in this one, because I've not done all that, we just have to do in progress and done. So maybe since we all have access to this, I'll just try and work on it, right? So I'll just try and fix it so that you do your bug reporting here.
Wait, yeah, that will be fine. But now we give you one description. Maybe you have you have enlisted the failure aspect that's done, which is the bug which you have detected, right? Now we've given one already. So how will you add? Will you still be able to add more and more and more in the same page like this? Now you've done one, right? Which is product cannot be moved to cart, right? Another bug again. Can you add more?
Okay, you can still
add more description.
Yeah, so let me go back.
Because this,
so that's just for the one. Yeah, so this is where you create the issue.
Okay.
What needs to be done? So you put it down there. Then you open it. Maybe this needs to be fixed and then you open it and all. So I'll just work on this and so it will have the entire stages that we need. So that when you do your project, you'll be able to navigate through it.
Okay, wait to. Can you click on it again now? Sorry, just click before you go. I know you are about to leave now. Okay.
So yeah, so see it.
So you will not write the title again, right?
I'll not write the title of it, the description, the attachment, and everything.
Okay. What did you press to go back that time to where it was created? Is there something you pressed?
X close.
Okay, X close. Okay.
Then go back, create issue.
Okay. Because what you are doing now is exactly what they did to me when I joined here in the UK. We have a software we are using. They started teaching me how they open case, how they do all the description, and how to go back and all of that. So it's okay.
Yeah,
it's
so
nice.
I'll work on this and then we can see the update I made from my end. So because we'll be coming up with a test environment, or we'll be coming up with where you can join a project, and then so you need something to actually help. Since you say this is easier for you, that's to do your bug reporting. So I'll just try and create all those cases that we talked about and then rearrange it for you. So you can see the updates live from your email notification.
Okay, that's fine. But in this one now, there's no all those requirements like actual results.
And so that's what I'm saying. I need to work on it. I need to what's it called now?
Update it. Need to update
populate it exactly.
Okay.
I need to
nice. Populate it. Okay. Okay then. You've done so well though. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Do we have any more questions, please?
No.
All right.
I will just go and watch that video.
Okay, no problems. Madam Boge, do you have any more questions?
I don't have. Just that this last part that you explained, I didn't follow up because of this, my boy. I'll have to
Sorry.
watch the video.
You just have to watch the video. Sorry. Okay, so I'll make the updates, right? Probably before the end of the week. So you would see from your end because we'll be moving on to projects. So
Are we
yes,
are we still expecting class again?
I'll have to ask Mr. Mani.
Okay.
I'll ask Mr. Mani actually.
Okay, no
No
worries.
problem. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you, madam.
Yeah, sorry, Mr. Jeremiah, can you make me the host? You're the host.
I'm the host.
Yes, you're the host.
He don't even know.
How did I become the host? I don't know.
It was when my laptop had issues, so I had to leave the call, so it automatically made you the host.
I'm okay.
Have you made me the host now so that I can stop the recording?
Maybe I just stop on my own. How do I make you the host? I don't know actually. I
Press.
actually
Yeah,
need
so
to
go to where you have the participants. So you can just click on my name and make me the host.
Okay. That's okay. Yeah, make host. Yeah.
Okay.
Are you okay now?
Yeah, I'm okay. I'm all right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Mr. Kim.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
Mr. Jeremiah. Thank you,
Bye.
Madam Oge.
Welcome.
Bye.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye.
That's good.